Good. Friday. Been 2 good days. Red zone work today. Guys are locked in. And we're going to be ready to go. So exciting, man, exciting, you know. And already talked about it earlier. This is why you're in this business. Players love it. Coaches love it. Great for their organization. And it's great for football.
How did just having the Monday night game, how did that condense your kind of weekly prep this week?
Just pushed everything by, call it a day and a half, you know. You lose the day, obviously, but then the West Coast, you know, trying to recover a little bit from that, just to have, you know, you get a little bit sleep to where you can get your brain going, get a little creativity back. So that's all. And then it's really just on the front end of it, man, is that first, call it 24 hours, is really pushing hard there. And we did that. Our guys are great. Coaches are great. We got a great plan. And once we got through that, then you're back into the normal flow of it.
Take us through just your emotions of the week. You know, that game after Monday, you were really excited about this game coming up, and then we talked to you Wednesday, and it seemed like you're in sort of prep mode, you know, like kind of grinding, and now maybe the sun is up, right? You see the game, and you're like feeling energized.
Yeah, I think as you go through the week, you know, and you build the plan, you get the work in, and you know, you tweak what needs to be tweaked, and you start getting a vision for how you want to play and how you see the game going. You just, you know, it helps. It just helps everything, you know, and you get more and more excited the closer you get. So, yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a normal progression, you know. You know, you don't entirely know early in the week where everything's at, where you're at, where they're at, how they're going to play, how you want to play, what you're going to need to do, what do you think they're going to do. And as the week goes, you begin to, I think it comes into focus. So.
You've been a part of the game as a player, as a coach elsewhere, but with this much sort of riding on line, regular season game.
Not that I can think of. Not like this. Not like this, no. I mean, this is, no. Not like this.
You guys have played in a lot of big games last year and a half, 2 years. How much does that help in a week like this? I know this is even bigger and different, but does that your players know what it is about? You know what it's about?
Yeah, I do think that helps. I do, because it's like anything else, man. If it's shock and awe, and it's the crowd, and it's the media attention, and it's the record of the opponent, division game, all on the line, you know, and if you're not used to that, it can be a little overwhelming. You know, it can be overwhelming for some players and teams. And so we've been in that. And I think, look, I think we embrace that. I really do. I think we embrace the challenge of it. We embrace the bright lights of it. You know, we respect the opponent that's coming in here, and we love competition. And this is going to be one of these all-out, come to the end of the line type games, and so we know what we're getting ready to play and what we're getting ready to face, you know, and so we're looking forward to this competition.
How would you describe Dan Skipper's role on this team, and what made you realize that you had something valuable in him when he hadn't really found a team that valued him similarly until?
Yeah, Dan is very valuable, and he does a lot. And it's hard to say, okay, define that role. You know, I would say going into the season, it was, you know, hey, he's our swing tackle, and he's competing to be the swing tackle. It's not like he's your third tackle. You know, he had to go into training camp, but we also knew he could play the jumbo tight end. Well, he earned the third tackle. He earned that spot, man. And I felt like this year in camp was the best that he has performed, the best that he has played since he's been in the league, since I've been around him. That's a credit to him. You know, it's not like he just walked in the door. I mean, he's had to battle, and he's been at different teams. And so, you know, we lose Decker for a little bit. He's got to start for us, and he did well. You know, he played well for us. He played winning football. And then when it's not there, he's a valuable asset in the jumbo tight end. He's tough. He's smart. He's gritty. He's got hands. You know, he's a finisher. I mean, you name it. He just fits everything that we're about. So when, I don't know, probably 3 years ago, there's something about this guy that you just want this guy around, and you can use him in a certain capacity. So he's very much a part of what we are. He's one of those guys I think about. How many guys are here from the 2021 team that we had. There's about 20 guys, and he's one of them. TK's one of them. Some of these guys you don't think about. The draft class, Decker, Ragnow. So they're Germ's back. Pittman. Some of these guys you don't think about, but they were all here in the beginning of this, and we got a lot of faith and trust in those guys because they've earned that, and that's why they're still here. And they've got a great perspective on things.
Dan, how did Alex look at practice yesterday, and what are some of the benchmarks he has to hit to feel comfortable playing on Sunday?
He's earned enough to be able to practice today. So I thought he looked good enough to be able to practice today. And so, no setbacks, and he's going to go out there and move a little bit. And so that's good. He's passed the handstand test, the jumping jack, inverted jumping jack. It's just we got to go through today, and it's really about him getting comfortable, And so much of it is what we really like to do is get these guys worked in before you throw them into the fire. We try to do that with as many of our guys as we can, is get them comfortable with a week of practice, then then they're ready for the following week. So that's kind of the phase we're in. We want him, love to have him, but we want to be smart too. We got a playoff game after this, so just trying to be right by him and by us.
Sort of his mentality on it too, because talking to us, maybe we read too much into it, but he said that if somebody asked him if he can trust it 100%, he said, no, not yet. I don't know, when a player's coming back from an injury, what's that line that you...
Yeah, that's, and that's tough. And really the only way to trust it is to do it, is to use it and do it and bang away in there. And that just takes, you just got to rep it. You got to rep it a little bit, get comfortable, like, man, that was a pretty violent hit and I didn't feel anything. Or, oh, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And that's, that becomes a mental thing. But I feel confident. Listen, if he's going to play, it's because we know he's going to be able to go full tilt, and he's going to be able to help us, and he's going to be able to protect himself, play at a high level, and we can trust that, and we're not putting him in harm's way. And if we don't feel that way, we're not going to play him. It's not worth it.
Zadarius Smith, you have guys play their former teams all the time, and they find motivation in that. Do you, as a coach, tend to try to tap into that energy in any way, or do you try to push it down and keep it more just every week's the same?
No, I mean, I think you're going to use some of those. I mean, that's why some of these guest captains you have, they're going to go out for the coin toss against an old opponent. Now Zadarius has been, he's been at Green Bay and he's been in Minnesota, but I think it's always special when you play one of your old teams. When you were there before, you just, I don't know, it just brings a little extra something to it, right? And so we know that's there. He knows that's there,
Would you rather, meeting with prospects in the offseason during the draft period, do you kind of envision or try to project out how those players would perform in moments like this and games like this?
You'd like to. I mean, I think that's part of the process of, how do they do in big moments? How do they do in critical situations? Can you find those? Are they in there? But those aren't always easy to find, and you could say, what about, it's one thing to see that in a national championship game, or, but what if it's a team that's not playing for a championship, and it's, can you ever really find that out? So, yeah, certainly that's if you can see it and find it, that's great, but I can't say that it's something that that's one of the top priorities that we're looking for.